Hi, it's Tootie Tagerly, live on Tuesday afternoon from San Francisco, and talking to you today about making space for your intuition. This was originally going to be called Make Space for Your Gut, but it's not quite Thanksgiving yet, and yeah, that didn't quite sound right. But we often exist within our rational mind, and we make decisions by listing out a long list of pros and cons. This is what feels good about this. This is what feels bad about this. This is living in our head and in our intellect. I wanted to share another tool or a different perspective of decision making by making space for your gut or intuition. I'm going to share 3 things for you to think about and pay attention to as an entryway to a different type of perspective. So the first thing that I want to share is listen to how you feel. You don't have to completely follow it, but I'm just using it as a different input. I was recently working with a client in an interview process. We'd been working together for many months, and we had a set of criteria for what matters to her when she's looking at different companies. We're towards the end of this process, and she'd gotten 2 offers from 2 very prestigious companies. Of course, we had a Google sheet of qualities, what matters to her: people, her title, and the equivalent responsibilities, her salary and their pay, and what the company's philosophy was, and what their investment strategy was, as well as on their focus of company stage. So, of course, we went back to this list of pros and cons, and of the 2, there had been one that had been her top choice all along. So she picked that one. She was like, okay, I think I'm decided. This is the company that I want to work for. So she slept on it, thought about it for a bit, but something happened. She went out to dinner with the key partners in the company. And in this atmosphere where it should have been celebratory, it should have been exciting, it should have been about working together, there was something in her intuition and in her gut that she couldn't ignore. There was a little bit of a part of like, what am I doing here? What am I doing here with these people? There was a sense of anxiety and fear like, is this not right? So listen to how you feel. You don't have to choose and act on it, but with my particular client, this feeling kept growing stronger and stronger and stronger. And we went back through the list of pros and cons. We had multiple conversations about this. And she ended up picking the other company, the one that wasn't her top choice all along, that wasn't the obvious choice. It didn't completely make sense from the rational list of pros and cons and intellects. And I'm going to say both of these companies were equally strong, but she paid attention to her feelings at that dinner and was able to listen to that and use that as an additional set of inputs to her decision making. I think the second point that I really want to emphasize is that you can change your mind. My client did. She decided on one, but when she slept on it over 24 or 48 hours, she changed her mind. I have another client who worked as a leader in a large tech company. We'd been working together for about 6 months, and she always wanted to leave to start her own business. But she was paralyzed because, I don't know, there's these golden handcuffs at working for a large tech company. And then she had so many decisions and overwhelming things ahead of her. Should she go back to school and get her MBA? That would get her connections. That would get her like maybe the skill set to know how to start her own business. Or should she just leave and partner with a couple of potential partners and start to do this on her own? Or should she stay at her current large tech company a little bit longer? She was paralyzed through all of this. But what helped her as she listened to her intuition and her gut, because it kept changing, what helped her was knowing that it was okay. You can change your mind. And that was her mantra. Pick a direction for now. That's where your gut, your intuition was leading her. And it's okay for her to change her mind. I caught up with her recently and found out that she had left the large tech company and she was in the process of doing it, running her own business. That was really exciting. The third thing I think is really important for you to think about is intuition and gut, it's a little bit of a muscle. It's something that gets severely under-exercised, especially in Silicon Valley and the world of tech, where we use our heads, we use data, we use rationale, we use all of this all the time. We're people of logic. That's the muscle that gets exercised 24/7. Instead, there's a different muscle to practice around your gut and intuition. And here's one tool for how to do it. When you're facing a decision, you can ask yourself 3 questions. I'll take the example of my client. Should I work for company A or company B? Which offer should I take? You ask your head and be like, all right, what does my head say? Okay, and you might say, all right, my head says I should work for company A because according to that spreadsheet, that company A ticks, and I should work here. Second question to ask, what does my heart say? And for her, the answer to that was, oh my gosh, I don't think I want to work with these people. There's something off. There's something off with these people and these coworkers. I don't know what it is, but something hurts here when I think about it. And then the last question to ask is, what does your gut say? And her gut was screaming, no, this is wrong. This is wrong. So here's the thing. When you're practicing the muscle, I don't actually think it matters whether you listen to your head or your heart or your gut. You don't have to act on any of these things and you can change your mind. But the practicing of the muscle is learning to listen and know that your head may say something different than your heart and may say something different than your gut. This is the unconscious thinking and feeling and emoting beneath the consciousness of our head and mind. All I'm saying to practice the muscle is ask yourself those 3 questions. What does my head say? What does my heart say? What does my gut say? The answer actually doesn't matter. What's interesting is what happens underneath when you ask these questions and what answers you hear. And it can be different. You can change your mind. So something that I've been thinking a lot of lately is the heroine's journey. And one of my really good friends, Irene, and I are hosting it. And why we're doing it is because it exists on many different levels. We wanted to make space for a retreat to tend to your leadership. What's important about it is we're sharing practical skills. We're helping clarify what matters most in your leadership so that you can, and so you know what to do next. We're helping people understand how to learn to hear and address self-critical voices, and we're helping you to build trusted relationships. These are practical, hard skills to take back to your work. But what I'm most excited about is we're creating a space for intuition, gut, adventure, magic. It's limited to women only. So it's helping you understand and get in touch with your own feminine leadership. I'll be reading tarot to find different perspectives, different voices to listen to. And most deeply, it's intended to help you find your own inner guide for your leadership. And that can be listening to your head, your heart, or your gut. But I'd say make space for your intuition. Let your intuition come in and help show you a different way. Thank you.